question, go ahead and raise your hand. We'll get started. Fred, go ahead.
Scott, six out of seven. What if you had to explain what you attribute this streak to? What would you say?
We got a good team that's been able to play together for an extended period of time. We still have a ways to go. The crazy thing is all we're doing is just playing games, but we need games. We're behind in games. We're not doing a lot of practicing. We're watching film as much as we can. Players are responding. They know that we gave a bunch away early, and then what hit us after that, and then we just got the guys together. They're playing hard. Our stars are leading us and playing well, and bit by bit, or some of our inexperienced players are getting a little bit better, and it seems like Rollo and Neto, the two veterans, savvy veterans, tough veterans, are playing huge minutes when called upon and playing well.
I wanted to ask you about Neto specifically. Did you expect him to be kind of this consistent and heavy of a contributor for you guys coming into the year?
Well, I hope, and I've followed him for a while. I follow everybody in the league, but I've always followed point guards, and particularly backup point guards. I played that position at a very high level, and so I know when I see a good one. We have two good backups. Unfortunately, Ish has been out for a while, and Neto has stepped up. That's a good problem to have when they were both healthy. The good thing about Neto, he can play the two, he can play the three, especially with today's game when you have so many smaller twos and threes. But he plays with a toughness that's who he is. It's not manufactured. He walks on the court. He has to play with that edge, and that's what I love about him. He's a scrappy dude that just plays hard. He's a good shooter, and he can make plays, and he finishes around the rim. Thought he got fouled in that last one, but that would have been a huge up four with 6 seconds to go. But he played well throughout the game.
Ava.
Scott, what did you feel like you guys did better from the start tonight?
We didn't let them go out on a run. It seems like not every game, I'm exaggerating there, but it seems like a lot of games, sometime during that first quarter, they would go on a 10-2, 8-0, 12-4 run sometime. And a lot of times it's in the later in the quarter. They didn't do that. And I thought in the second quarter, we made some mistakes defensively with some threes, and the same thing that happened in the third quarter. I thought Neto and Rollo gave us huge minutes in that fourth quarter, just making their catches tough and their shots tough. And that's why they ended up with only 22 points.
And when you guys talk about guys like Raul and Mo, who maybe don't show up huge on the stat sheet every night, but they kind of fill in all the little cracks and like you said, bring stuff like toughness and energy, how important has that aspect of their game been to this kind of stretch you guys are on?
Yeah, I mean, Mo gives us just gives us a little bit of a free spirit. He has a real positive vibe out there. Sometimes it goes a little goofy at times, but he's taking advantage of the minutes. He came in as our third center that probably wasn't going to play much, if any at all. But with the injury to Thomas Bryant, and then you don't want to wear out Rollo. Thought he's given us good minutes, and like I said, we have three. I know Alex didn't play a lot of minutes, but he gave us another big body for those 5 minutes in that fourth quarter. Could have been better, but he still competed, and he contested a shot, gave us an extra possession. Because I thought, with Mo, one of the things with Jokic, he's a big, strong kid, and Mo struggles with that type of player, but he still fought him hard in that first quarter. Thought he did much better job than this game than the first game we played him.
Arnie?
He's got you got 18. You forced 18 turnovers and scored 23 points off of those. This is against a team that 48 hours earlier committed just one turnover. I'm wondering if you could just speak to the defensive effort that you guys had on this team to kind of propel this victory.
Well, I think we're definitely playing much better defense the last 15 games. We're not where we need to be. We still got to keep getting better. We're going to be able to do it in the film sessions. We're trying to teach as much as we can with our during games, as well as some guys. But I think our activity, or being aware on the weak side and being a participant, you can't have 4 guys rowing the boat if you're going to have the success defensively. But I think we're getting 5 guys, and when we have one guy missing, it's not the same guy. It's always seems to be another guy down the line. I thought tonight we were active. We did a good job not turning the ball over and take until the last few minutes. But I thought that was a big part of our win. We only had 11 turnovers.
Thank you.
Neil.
Hey, Scott, it looked like Denny had a few lapses defensively. Can you take us through just maybe where are some of the places where he could have improved today?
Just being aware. I thought he made some mistakes on his switches. Just things that a lot of young players have to go through. And this is no different than any player. And even, like I've mentioned a while back, the MVPs don't come in as an MVP. You build. And if you have the skill set and the work ethic and the talent, you're going to be that type of player. Denny's just wants to play. He has to just keep playing hard. He's going to learn how to read the situations quicker. And I thought tonight he overhelped on when Rolo had the ball in the control, gave a right slot 3 to Porter, and then some of our switches with Murray. Those are hard plays. He's an all-star, and he's real clever on his routes. You think that he might be setting a screen for a guard, and he slips it, and then Jokic is such a great passer. If you make one split-second mistake, that's going to be a wide-open 3 or a layup. But I think he's going to keep improving. He's getting good minutes. Yeah, he just has to keep at it, and he will. He's a hard-working, good kid.
Zach Akuma.
Hey, Coach. Rui played in a team-high 38 minutes today, but what did you think of the job he did on both ends?
One of his best games. I mean, he seems to keep getting better. I keep saying that I think might be the 3rd time I've said this now. This is his best game. This is his best game. This is right there with his best game. Just being aware, running the floor, getting some easy ones, knowing where to be in the places on the floor to get his open shots. I thought he took a couple of threes, which is good. He took 4, so that's good. I mean, he only made 1, but I like him taking them there. He's open, and he's going to go 4 for 4 some nights, but I don't want him to pass up shots. But defensively, he's active. He's using his length. I thought he made one mistake tonight. Unlucky play. We got the deflection. I thought he had the steal from Jokic, and then the ball went right back to him, and he lost Porter for that late dunk down the middle. But other than that, I thought he played pretty solid all night defensively. But it's getting better every day, every game. That's what I love about Rui. He wants to improve. He has the desire to get better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Zach Rosen.
Coach, you're a West Coast guy, but do you remember having kind of a trip like this? I know you guys had momentum going into the trip, but just to really feel like a turning point on the season?
I think the last 2 trips have been pretty good. We've had a crazy trip. Last one was a great game, bad game, great game, bad game on the 2-2 trip. This one, I thought we started the trip off right. We were solid. We've been solid all along. I thought we ran out of gas against the Clippers. Obviously, their 2 stars played like MVPs, but we still cut the lead to 5 going into the 4th quarter. And then Man hit those 2 shots, 3 in the drive to the right. But I thought this trip was good. We're getting confident, but I think we're getting confident because we get to play with one another for a long stretch of time now. We just got to, knock on wood, we stay healthy and COVID free, and and just keep getting better game by game.
And we'll finish up with Fred.
Hey, Scott, I just wanted to follow up on you talked about Rui's defense. Throughout the beginning of his career, his on-ball defense has kind of been ahead of his off-ball stuff. Where do you think he is, and if you break it down that way, where he is guarding the ball versus where he is off the ball? Do you feel like that gap is closed at
Well,
all?
I think the gap is definitely shrinking. I think he's doing a better job of closing out and understanding that there's a lot of great shooters in this league. And, sometimes it takes you a while. I mean, you play a college game and there might be 2 great shooters on the floor, and that's with 10 players. But in this league, there's sometimes, 5 amazing shooters. Like they had some really good shooters tonight with Jokic being able to take you out and shoot the ball. But I think his off the ball defense is much improved. Still needs to get better. Still needs to see it. Still needs to keep improving, and he will. He does Corey Gaines works with them always and watches film with them, but he's definitely getting better in that area. But I like that because like Russell says it all the time to him. You're the only one on this team that can guard 1 through 5. Didn't need to do that tonight, but he can guard 1 through 5. He's that good defensively when he's really, really locked in, and he's going to get better. I think just as he knows the league, knows the personnel, and you can help yourself out by knowing who you're guarding much better.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, just get some rest.
All right, Coach. Appreciate you. All right, if you got a question, go ahead and raise your hand. Neil, go ahead.
Hey, Owl. It seemed like, you were hitting some of your floaters, some of those tougher shots. When you're in that kind of groove as a bench player, does it help you be more aggressive later on in continuing to take those shots?
Yeah, I think no matter if I'm making or not, I know that's my shot, and the team expect me to take those shots and be aggressive no matter how the game is going. So, of course, it's easier when you make the first 2 or 3 shots, and then, of course, you have more confidence going to the end of the game. But I got to work on my mindset and work on whatever. If I'm on the court at the end of the game, even if I miss all the shots, I gotta take those ones. And that's what the team expects from me, and coach gives me the confidence to do it. So no matter how the game's going, I gotta take those.
Zach.
Oh, you and Campazzo, I know, are pretty familiar with each other's game. Is it fun going up against him, and does it give you a little bit more of an edge, just to compete a tiny bit harder against him?
I don't think I walk into the game thinking that way. Of course, I mean, we've had some battles back playing for Brazil and Argentina. It's always fun playing against the best players, and he's a great player. So, yeah, it's always fun. And he's the kind of guy that plays hard, likes to play defense, and like to try to get into your skin. And I think that he has this Argentinian, DNA of playing. So it's always fun playing against players like that. But I think I just walk into the game, worry about myself, worry about what can I do to help my teammates, whoever I'm playing against. But yeah, we have history, and I think I enjoy playing against the best, and he's one of them. So yeah, but I don't walk into the game with that mindset.
Kellen.
The team has been playing a lot better this past 6-7 games. I guess what feels the most different, these past couple games?
I think everybody know what we have to do to help the team. I think at the beginning of the season, we're still trying to figure out what our role was in the team. Do I have to take that shot? Do I have to play defense that way? And I think right now everybody know what they got to do out there. Of course, we depend a lot on Russ and Brad, and they've been great lately. And everybody around them are, I think, doing their job. So I think that's why we playing better. Even the games we lost, I think we stayed with the positive things we did and try to build from playing good, not only from wins. Even though we need them, we need those wins to get where we want. So I think everybody know their role now, and that's the key for us.
And I think Rui mentioned a couple games ago that Russ asked the role players to define their roles. What was your answer? What was your response to that?
I mean, that's something like we talk between us, I don't think there's a secret. I've been showing my role on the team is to play hard defense, take shots when I'm open, and that's what I say was my um, my role on the team. And but yeah, it was a great conversation, and I think after that we kind of when you voice that out for the team, and you hear from everybody else what they're supposed to do for the team. I think that makes a huge difference, and it was a great conversation for us.
Thanks.
Ava.
Hey, Howell. Scott kind of reminded us earlier tonight that you guys have pretty much just been playing games all month. Like you haven't had that much time to practice or even do a lot of film study. What has it been like kind of working through all the kinks, like you said, that were happening earlier in the season, just in game, night in and night out?
I think it's trying to like take every opportunity in games to learn, and to talk to each other, to communicate. I don't think we're gonna have a lot of practice going on after seeing the schedule. I think we're gonna be traveling a lot and playing a lot of games, just like the past couple weeks. So I think we just gotta keep improving during the game. Sometimes we have a couple mistakes and we talk through and then we don't do it again. We miss on a switch and then the next play we talk to each other and hey, we're switching. Don't miss that again. So I think that's the key for us to keep growing and keep getting better. And of course, film that we watch as a team. I think that helps too.
And then way back at the beginning of the season, you were the guy that everybody said was the biggest surprise and kind of the standout player coming out of training camp. What was that like for you to hear? How much pride, or I guess how much confidence did that give you, especially coming in to an organization?
It's easier when you have teammates and coaching staff that allow you to be yourself, and I'm not saying I wasn't able to be myself in other teams, but Coach Scott gave me a lot of confidence, and my teammates gave me a lot of confidence to just do what I do, and take shots when I feel like I have to take shots, be the leader on the team defensively, and talk to everybody. I think I'm in a good spot. I found a team that allows me to do that, and I feel comfortable doing it, and I think it's showing up on the court. I worked hard every summer waiting for my opportunity, and I think it came this year, and I was ready.
All right, that's all the time we got for Howell. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hey, Robin. That's 2 straight games where you've kind of come in and kind of held your own against Jokic. I mean, nobody stops that guy, but you've kind of held him down. What have you been doing that you feel like you've been able to be relatively successful with in that matchup?
I got to give a lot of credit to my teammates. They're in and out. And they're very cognizant of what he's trying to do. Get in the paint, make plays for his team and for his teammates. So I really got to give a lot of credit to my guys out there with me. They're helping me out a lot.
You're a guy who tends to hang around the paint more defensively than on the outside. What can you do when you're guarding him and he's on the perimeter to help the team defense?
It's tough. You got to try to. He's such a great passer, such a great playmaker. You've just got to try to obscure his vision a little bit, make those passes a little more difficult. And then when he's shooting threes, you got to get a hand up, contest, but you don't want to overcommit. You don't want to get him to the line because he's great from the line. He's a great player.
Ava.
Hey, Robin. How is everybody in the locker room kind of handling this really good stretch here? What's kind of the emotions like? It doesn't seem like you guys are super overly excited to us, but I don't know, maybe you're just hiding it really well.
No, I don't think we're overly excited. I think we're aware that, we've won a few games, but we still have a long way to go. And I think we're doing a great job of taking it one game at a time, not getting too ahead of ourselves.
And you've spoken a lot about how much Mo's energy matters on the court. Kind of in the same vein, what is Neto able to do for your guys just from the he's really good at scrambling and the hustle plays and kind of all those things?
Yeah, he's smart. He's good at he's good at making those audibles on defense where he's kind of playing outside of the scheme, but it behooves us, greatly behooves us.
Shy.
Robin, I know that you in particular have played well in this recent road trip. How do you personally and as a team keep it going over your next two games? I think Minnesota and Boston.
Yeah, I was told as a rookie and back in Phoenix that whatever happens, however a game ends, you enjoy it for that night, and then the next day, so it's a fresh start. You move on to what's in front of you. So we'll enjoy it tonight. We'll fly back home tomorrow and get back to work.
Thank you.
All right, Robin. I think that's it.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Glad you got your hat back too.
Me too.
Go ahead and raise your hand. Ava.
Russ, you talked about consistency last game. What was the key to the better start tonight, do you think, for you guys?
Our energy was in the right place. I thought we did a good job of just making sure our mind and our bodies were in the right place, and we did a good job of that tonight. Start the game.
And where do you think how Neto impacts this team the most?
Everywhere, man. Tonight he was everywhere. He was big tonight. Defensive plays, made big shots. He was X factor tonight. Did a good job of keeping control of the game when he was in there. Did a hell of a job tonight.
Fred.
Russell, what's allowed Robin Lopez to have success for you guys off the bench?
Say it again.
What's allowed Robin Lopez to have success for you guys off the bench?
What has allowed him? I think Robin been in this league a long time. Maybe something you got to ask him, but he's a vet. He knows how to play the game. He knows how to read the game. He's very smart, so he understands. He knows how to play.
Zach.
Russ, you guys got 4 more games before this mini break. What is it going to look like for you guys to keep this going and not run out of gas before that break?
You just play one game at a time. That's all you can do. Just our job. You got to make sure you come in, be professional, and make sure guys are ready to go. And that's all we can do.
Kellen.
Hey Russ, one of the themes that have come up throughout the season is your leadership. You've mentioned it. Coach Brooks has mentioned it. Brad has mentioned it. How would you describe your leadership, and what do you enjoy about that role that you play?
I think leadership is not just talking or what people see. A lot of time, there's a lot of people that get labeled as leaders because of what y'all see or what they allow you guys to see. To me, that's not real leadership. To me, leadership is when things are going bad, going good, you stay the same. You find ways to connect with your teammates, connect with them on a different level to allow them, to let them lead you. And to me, that's what I try to do every season is make sure that I become a good leader for my guys, and they can lean on me for anything they need.
How has your leadership style, if it has, evolved over time?
It's been the same. I think it's just now it's really up to y'all in the media to determine if I'm a good leader or not, to be honest. But, I've been leading the same way since I've been in the league. I think now I hear it from other teammates and other teams and shit like that. That allows you guys to be like, oh, Russ, you're leading now, which is, it doesn't mean nothing to me because I know that leadership is something that I've always been able to do on every team that I've been on, and I'm going to continue to do that.
Arnie.
Hey Russ, can you take us through that last sequence when you saw them on a 4-1 break? Did you expect Jamal to pull up and take that shot?
You got to ask them. I don't know.
Ava, you have one more?
Nope, I'm good. Sorry about that.
No problem. All right, Russ, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
No problem.
Brad, what's going through your mind when you're the one on the 3-on-1 fast break at the end of that game?
First, praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
My initial thought was they're about to get a damn layup, and we're going into overtime. That was honestly my initial thought. Is I was running towards Murray, and I just knew he was going to throw a lob to Porter Jr. For an easy lay or a dunk. Then I seen him kind of slow down the 3-point line, and I'm like, well, shit, he's trying to send us home. So I'm like, let me try to at least try to contest and force him to, take the layup. And sure enough, they kind of played into our hands in our favor. So, I'm happy as hell. I can tell you that.
Do you feel like when you're on a roll, like is it almost like basketball karma? Like things start to go right for you in those situations?
Yeah, sometimes, sometimes there's a little luck involved. Things fall your way. But I think we still did enough to win tonight. Granted, it came down to that play. I think we still did a good job and did enough to win.
Ava.
Brad, for this really good stretch you guys are on to be happening in this month where you had so many games on a tough road trip against really, really mighty teams, what extra meaning does that bring to it, I guess, the fact that you guys are soaring right now?
Nothing, honestly. I mean, we still haven't done a damn thing, Ava. We still, we won a few games, but we still have some bad habits we got to correct, and we still got a whole big season ahead of us, with a lot of games and a lot of room to make up. So, we still have this humble approach and mentality that we got to put our hard hats on and still get back to work.
And how much did you know about Howell before he became your teammate?
I knew him briefly from playing, when he was in Utah and in Philly a little bit. He was always a crafty guy, crafty second point guard. I don't think he had a lot of freedom as he does here. And I would say ever since camp, I was always a fan of him, with his ability to be able to shoot the ball. And then just his tough grit mentality that he has. I think that's the Brazilian side of him. He's just a gritty guy. And we love everything he brings to the table. And he accepted the challenge tonight, guard Murray. Murray made some tough ones, but he made them work for every single thing.
Thanks, Brad.
Zach.
Brad, how were you guys able to kind of bond a little bit off the court, maybe on this trip? Like, I feel like you experience these moments and these wins, but it's like, man, I haven't seen you all trip. So, like, what are you guys doing to kind of keep that mojo together?
Honestly, Zach, we see each other every damn day, whether it's through testing, whether it's eating. We have moments and opportunities to be able to bond. I mean, granted, we're on a state-to-state basis on, whether or not we can gather with large groups of guys, but we're a young team, so a lot of guys game. A lot of guys play FIFA, and you can hear guys yelling in their rooms competitively. So that's always cool and fun to hear, and to be around. But we're a team that's young. Everybody loves each other. Everybody has a great character. And granted, it's not like any other year where we're able to just go out and hang, go get some food or whatever. But we make the best of what we got.
Neil.
Hey, Brad. In past years, you've talked about, wanting to become a better free throw shooter. Last year, you had a career high 84%. So far this year, you're at 89.5%. Is there anything you can attribute that to?
Just my mentality. My goals coming into this year is to be 90. I tell myself every time I step up to the line 90, I just say 90 to myself. And granted, I'm shooting it with confidence and stepping up and just knocking them down at 3 points.
Samir.
Hey, Brad. So during this winning stretch that you guys are currently going through, you guys are ranked in the better half of defensive rating in the league. Prior to that, you guys have had your struggles on that end. What's been kind of going through the entire process on kind of correcting those, issues on that end, and how have you been able to turn it around for these last couple of weeks?
We watch a lot of film. Um, we take pride in realizing that we were, one, if not the last team in defense, one of the last teams in defense early on in the year. And, that was horrible. We knew we were better than that. And, honestly, over just the last few games, it's just been our consistency to our approach on the defensive end. We're locked into guys, we're locked into personnel, we're locked into our game plan and how we want to guard guys. I would say earlier in the year, it wasn't like that. We were kind of all over the place. Granted, it was kind of like we were learning things on the fly. We didn't have all of our guys there, whatever the case may be. But now, we kind of have this no excuse, attitude. Everybody knows what their job is. Everybody knows, when they come into the game, they're supposed to defend and play hard. And let the rest of the game take care of itself. Let the chips fall where they may. So. I think we've just been trusting each other, trusting ourselves, and trusting each other on defense more than anything. And I think it's just the consistency, just accepting that challenge and knowing that, in order for us to win games, we have to defend.
Just a quick follow-up. Who's been big on that end in terms of how you've been able to kind of turn this thing around in terms of defense?
Everybody's not a one-man show. We all play a part in getting these wins. We all play a part in guarding guys. No one man had just Jamal tonight. Russ guarded him early on, and he was struggling. So everybody has their opportunities to guard guys. It's not like one person is going out there and shutting down everybody. We have to defend and depend on everybody to be able to carry their weight and lift up their teammate.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah.
All right, last question to Fred.
Brad, Russell has talked a lot throughout the year about how as he's gotten healthier, he's been able to get to the rim more. So what does his ability now to get to the rim do for you when he's playing off the ball? Like when you're running those strong side pick and rolls and he's there for catch and goes and that kind of stuff. How does that help you?
It keeps the defense, it makes them respect everybody on the floor, because a lot of people like to let Russ shoot. Granted, Russ will shoot or he will catch an attack, so you have to be prepared for, either one of whatever's going to come our way. But he just does a great job of staying in attack mode. We're better when he does that. Just being able to put pressure on the rim, getting to the basket, letting our bigs be able to follow up for offensive tip backs if that's the case. So we just need him always in that mode. He never stops. He's always, pushing the pace, looking to attack, looking to get guys involved, looking to make a play. That's always what we need. He's a true leader, and he lives by that and he embraces that.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah.
All right, Brad. Appreciate you.
Thanks, folks.